Holy Kevin Smith Armageddon! I'm Batman in the next Man of Steel movie! Why do people care so much about who's Batman in my movie? Why don't you go back to making movies like Argo yourself? Get all your Man of Steel and other super awesome toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Link is in the description. They're super... What up, big kids? Here's your big review. The Man of Steel NECA Superman 1/4 scale collectible figure. Here you can see the giant box that Superman is in. It has a really nice Metropolis backdrop behind there. You can see he's held together with a bunch of twist ties, which won't be fun to open, believe me. And it has the nice Man of Steel logo. Blue is just like the pattern of his costume. It says Man of Steel. Sides of the box is like this cape draped over his costume, which is very nice. You can see the design. You know, one side is part of it is the cape, and part of it is that blue texture going on. Back of the box is his cape, which is really cool, and just the cape pattern all the way down. Top here has the Man of Steel logo with saying Man of Steel as a warning label. Warning, you don't want to choke on your Man of Steel, you'll super choke. I think it's time to take out the super big figure. And here we got the Man of Steel NECA Superman 1/4 scale collectible figure. This figure definitely is super big, but it definitely has some super flaws. Let's take a closer look at it. The head sculpt isn't that great. There is definitely some bit of likeness to Henry Cavill, but it's just, I don't know, it's something about the nose or the lips or something. It doesn't look totally like him, and it looks a little bit weird. I mean, the eyes are pretty cool, and the skin tone is pretty good. The hair is probably the best. It's probably the most looks like him. I do like it. But yeah, the sculpt is a bit weird when it comes to the head sculpt. Like I said, I do like the hair a lot. And from some angles it looks like him. But yeah, it's definitely not as good as the Sideshow Collectibles premium format that's going to come out, or the Hot Toys figure. I think even the Mattel Movie Master figure is a little bit better head sculpt than this. But yeah, just something really off about this head sculpt. But from the head down, this figure I think is looks just perfect. The sculpt of the ass and the texturing looks amazing on it. You know, I do love the cloth cape, which I'll get in here in a sec. But yeah, the costume looks pretty spot on. Just the sculpting is pretty amazing from waist down. I love the gauntlets. There is some a little bit paint slop in between here, which kind of sucks, you know. But yeah, you can see here for the ab area. And we got the lines. I do like that he has an ab crunch, unlike the Movie Masters. It's super bulge. And he does got his lines pattern right there. He has some weird circle right there, but I don't know why he has that. But yeah, you can see the lining looks good. The boots look really good too. Only problem is, and I'll get into, is the joints, but I'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, the texturing is really nice. Now going in the back right here, I really love this cape. The only problem is getting him to stand. But yeah, this cape is awesome. I really like it. It's a like satin cloth mixture. It's 2 layers, which I love. One layer is the more cloth, and this satin on the inner lining. And it's nice and long, but it's not too long where it would drag. You know, the cape is such a drag, but like a lot. And yeah, you can see the back here is really nicely detailed. You know, I really do love the paint apps on here. Like I said, even though the sculpt of the head is really off, the rest of the figure is pretty spot on, I think. Super bud, and he has some circles in his bud. Super circles in his super bud. Oh man, try saying that on fast. Articulation, he has some really good articulation, but there is some worrisome things that I have to point out. First off, his head sadly doesn't go up that much, so you can't really get him any flight poses, which really sucks. You would think for Superman you can get him in better flying poses. He can look down pretty good, and his head does rotate. I just wish that there was some way to add like a hinge or make his neck a little point up more. The arms do fully rotate. They go in and out. that much. They rotate the bicep. They also bend at the elbow almost 90 degrees, but they do rotate at the elbow too, so you got like double twists. His wrists do rotate as well as go in and out. What I really do like is that he has an ab crunch because that helps with the flight poses a little bit. But yeah, it can go back that much and it goes forward just a little bit. You know, it pretty much, yeah, that's as much forward. He does have a waist joint. It does look a little bit off because of the way it's sculpted. So yeah, but it's cool that he has that. He does have Mattel Neca joints that aren't ball joints, but they go forward only that much and back more, which is weird that it can go back more than forward, but it does go in and out. And he has the super gaping crotch pits. Holy crap. He does rotate the upper part of the leg. He bends at 2 points at the knee, which is great, and his boots rotate. He does, oh, ow. It caught me right there. Be careful. His ankles pivot forward and back, and he does have a little bit of ankle pivot and toe articulation, but they're so weak that it makes it hard to stand. You have to really position him in a kind of way where he can't even stand up straight, otherwise he'll fall over really easily. Superman does come with an extra pair of hands made for flight poses. They have some pretty good detail, you know, with his nails and everything. You can't get him in that flying pose, but man, flying him around the house, you'll definitely get a workout. Hey Superman, I just saw your movie. I think it's super? No, I was gonna say it was not as good as mine, but still pretty good. I'm just glad that you learned to wear your underwear on the inside. Hey Iron Man, I know your movie made like $1 billion, but you know what you could do with all that money? What? Tell Neca to make us some frickin' stands for our figures. Size comparison time. So here you can see that the Superman figure is in the 1/4 scale. He is about the same size as you can see with the NECA's Iron Man that I reviewed before, and the Interbay Joker. I do have him kind of stepping forward so he's not completely standing up straight, but that's the only way I can have him standing. And you can see how much taller he is than the Center Hot Toys figure like the Clark Kent Superman. So this is my third 1/4 scale NECA figure, and I have to say I'm kind of indifferent about these figures going forward. I do like 1/4 scale figures, as you guys know, but the problem is with all these NECA figures is that they have the hardest time standing, and NECA should really include some sort of figure stand, either something with like a base and peg holes, or some sort of actual stand like Hot Toys and Interbay includes, because it's like, even though these figures are a lot cheaper than Hot Toys Interbay figures, you know, they're definitely not the same quality. And like I said, this Superman, if he had a better head sculpt, would look like an amazing centerpiece. But the problem is, if I don't have his legs standing in one certain position, he'll fall over, and that's not something you want an $85 figure to have. So that's definitely a concern. So I hope NECA, I don't know when, but sometime down the line includes some sort of figure stand. I wouldn't even mind if the price tag is like $5-10 more, because yeah, I get so nervous with these figures falling over. And with Superman, I pretty much love the body of this figure, and the cape is probably the coolest part. It looks great. I just wish the head sculpt was a little bit better, and it came with the stand. And maybe the head articulation was better if I was going to do flight pose, but yeah, it would be super heavy figure. And also kind of like if the cape had some sort of wire to be articulate. If you guys don't mind the head sculpt and don't mind that the figure doesn't come with a stand, it might have a problem falling over, I do still like it for a nice cool centerpiece for your Superman collection. I do love Man of Steel a lot, that's why I got it. It's really just like NECA's 7-inch figures, just upscaled with a cloth cape, which I do like. But like I said, with that said, I just hope NECA going forward do include the stands, because it's definitely a concern of mine. So I kind of recommend it, but I kind of don't. So for more geek news, reviews, podcasts, and more, go to bkbn.net. I'm Sean Long. Remember, celebrate your gnome in a big way.
Check out bkbn.net. Jason David Frank, Tommy the Green Ranger.
Come on, I want you to come on, hit me.
If you say so.
Why so?
Hey, what the hell, man? What? He told me to do it. He wouldn't have stopped it if I didn't.
Broke our one rule. We don't kill.
I don't have to listen to you. You're not Batman anymore. Why don't you go have another temper tantrum on the next Terminator movie? Hasta la vista, baddie.